Hello, lovely people. How are we all doing today? I am about to sprinkle your ears, or if you're watching this on video, your eyes, with some love, some ways to show yourself love this week. Um, Actually, I will be honest with you. Self-love is like the ultimate time hack. I know it's like this like popular word or this thing that like can sometimes feel unrelatable to some of us. Um, but and we much rather like just be busy and do all the things, but actually pausing and to show yourself some kindness is kind of fueling you up to have way more of a powerful impact on your productivity than any time audit or perfect plan or waking up an hour earlier will do. And that's because we make more sustainable decisions when we are kinder to ourselves. We build a trusting relationship to actually follow through on the things that we say we're going to do. And we stop making what I call and what I teach in my Time Hackers program, dickhead decisions, that we then end up not following through on later, or getting close to burnout with later, or hating ourselves for later and worrying about later. All of these things are just the opposite of productive. So actually being kind to yourself and loving on yourself is a productivity hack. I promise you. So I'm going to share with you some ways to shower love onto yourselves this week. But before I do that, I also wanted to remind you that you are right now, you are able to, and I say remind you, but some of you actually might not be on my email list where this announcement first went out. So let me first remind you to get on my email list, because not only was this announcement first shared there, but we have a few very exciting announcements coming out in the next 3 to 4 weeks that if you want to be the first to know, because they are all limited time opportunities, limited place opportunities, then you want to be on my email list to jump in and get on that opportunity. So you can join my email list by going to vickylouise.com/guide. As a juicy bonus, you will also get the 4 simple steps to stop wasting time. And we even made a new download available, which is phenomenal, with questions and worksheets. And it's really just amazing. It's the ultimate time wasting, the ultimate weapon against time wasting, let's say. So you get that at vickylouise.com/guide. That's VIKKILOUISE, by the way. And when you do that, you'll also be the first to know of all the juicy announcements, because right now you are coming in a bit behind, but there is still availability. I've checked. Otherwise, I wouldn't announce it to you. That would be cruel. But there have been things that I haven't announced here, unfortunately, because they've been snapped up by my email list. So get on the email list. Anyway, all that to say, if you are someone who has been thinking about joining Time Hackers, has a desire to join Time Hackers, or even is like just deciding that now is your time, that this is it, that you are going to stop letting things take longer than they need to, that you are onto yourself, that like you're not making decisions how you want to, you're not making them as fast as you want to, you're not actually following through on them, or you are someone who is like, the potential for failure, the potential for rejection is slowing you down. You are always busy. Or you are never busy. Because I was like a procrastinating hustler. So I was like playing ping pong between the like, I'm not going to do anything at all, to like, I'm going to do everything, but obviously not the most important things. So wherever you are, I've been there, I promise. But if you are there and you are deciding like, actually, this is my year for achieving more in less time, like you are open to investing in yourself so that you can achieve more in the next 30 days than you have in the previous 6 months. That's a very common thing that happens to my time hackers. While being kind to yourself and not working longer hours and not doing more things, might I add, then, the number one request that we get from you guys is finally being met, which is you get the opportunity to talk with someone one-on-one, and not just anyone, a time hacker. Time hacker Lauren has opened up availability in her calendar for you to speak privately to her about becoming a time hacker, about what it is to be a time hacker, about what you are currently struggling with, what decisions are outstanding, what things aren't getting done, what things are taking too long, what things you really, really want to do, but you keep getting busy, or you keep feeling stressed or overwhelmed, or there's too much to do, like whatever your current time issues are, whatever is keeping you time stretched and time poor, get on a call with Lauren. She's going to talk to you about what it is to be a time hacker, but she's also going to talk to you about what your current time situation is and how you can solve for it. And if Time Hackers is the place for you, she'll have a really honest chat with you. So we've never offered anything like this before. It is limited time, limited number of calls. Lauren has a life outside of this, and we don't want to take it all up. She is, after all, a time hacker. But you can get on a call with her. I will leave the link in the show notes. If for some reason, like I know sometimes it shows up funny, you can always email team@vickylouise.com and we will send you the link to schedule your call. I know these are highly coveted calls. If you want it, just email us ASAP. And unfortunately, I will say that a common thing that happens with my people is a few weeks later, we get emails saying, you know what, I really want that. I really want that call with Lauren. Can I have it? And I'm going to have to say no, because I know she has limited availability and this is not an open-ended opportunity. So if you feel like, okay, I kind of want this, I encourage you to just make it happen, have the call. There's, it's not a pressure-filled call. There's no like having to join Time Hackers. It's just a really honest chat. It's the opportunity to find out more. It's the opportunity to get coached to a decision that you feel really capable, really, really proud of, really clear on, so that you can either put it to bed or jump right in. Either one is going to be great. Okay, enough of that. That is actually one way to show yourself love, though. If you have been thinking about being a time hacker, listening to this podcast, watching these videos and thinking, I would like to, but, then I encourage you to get rid of that but and get on that call. Okay. So I do have other ways to show yourself love this week, but that is definitely up there. The first one, and I love this one, and if you've been around me for a while, you've heard me speak about the power of music. And what I love in particular is how like songs can be so short in time. We're talking like a couple of minutes, and so impactful in how we experience them. So if you want to show yourself some love and release some of your like tightness and tension and stress this week, then I'm going to recommend number one thing that you do that everyone has time for, because I promise you can do this in the car, you can do this while you are walking. I did it yesterday while doing the dishes. Like, this is an easy implementable one to do, and that is play a song you love. I say play a song you love in the morning. I say play it in the afternoon. I say play it before bed, but definitely play it in the morning. Play any song that you love in the morning. Let your body move to it. It can be like while you're brushing your teeth. You can't see me on the podcast, but you can see me on the video. I'm moving as I'm speaking about it because it just makes me feel so good. My whole body feels it, even without the actual music. That's like muscle memory coming out of like, did someone say music? So play a song you love. Actually, Ethan has just started dancing. It's the most fun thing. Someone bought us this like tape player with little songs on, little baby songs that aren't annoying yet because we've just started using it, but I'm sure I will feel differently soon. And even he gets up and he bops, and it's so fun. It's just like we are meant to move our bodies. Obviously, we live in a world where that doesn't happen as naturally anymore. There's so much goodness in playing a song you love and moving a little bit. And if that means just like swaying side to side in your chair, great. You don't have to get up and do a whole Zumba routine. But if you do want to do that too, go for it. Okay. The next one is show yourself love by canceling plans that you are no longer available for, that you are no longer interested in, that you don't feel up to or capable of. And I'm going to add something here. I'm going to say, even if you've already cancelled on that person once before. So we actually had this happen a few weeks ago. We've been trying to do this dinner with a few other couples. We don't have many friends here in Manchester. But one of my friends surprised us and came up from London, and we had like our most social weekend in like 2 years. We had like Friday night plans, Saturday day plans, Saturday night plans, Sunday day plans, Sunday night plans. And the Sunday night plans was dinner with a few couples that we'd already tried to meet once and we hadn't been able to. I can't even remember the reason. Because Giddy was back in France when it was supposed to happen. He got called back to France. So we cancelled again a second time because we were tired from the social plans. I'd forgotten, like, we'd not really been so social with a baby. It was a whole new experience. So Sunday night came and we were like, oh, this is not a time to meet new people. So we cancelled, even though we'd cancelled on them before and nobody cared. In fact, they all still got together without us. So win, win, win. So definitely show yourself love by cancelling plans that you are no longer available for, not from like a mean, bitchy way, just from like a self-care, strong, I don't want other people to do things that they don't want to do for me. Other people don't want you to do things you don't want to do for them. And if they do, then maybe evaluate the people in your life. Okay, this next one is one near and dear to me. It's something that I regularly do, and also know that I could regularly do more of. And that is call a friend and ask for support instead of doing it alone. Call a friend and ask for support, even if you've not spoken with them for months, even if the last time you spoke with them was also them supporting you, even if you're going to get on that phone call and cry immediately, it doesn't matter. Call that friend, get that support, have that honest conversation. Like, I always think about the question, like, how are you? Fine, good. How are you? Versus those relationships where it's like, how are you? It's like you just break down or break up. And I don't know the words break up or celebrate up, let's say. To me, I never need my friends to have any kind of informal, I should say formal intro. We just go straight to it. I love that kind of conversation. That's to me what friendship is for. And so just this little encouragement for you to give yourself some love and give yourself that support and that friend and connect. Okay, next up, of course, I'm going to give you some things to do or some questions to ask because I love that. So one of the most powerful ways to show yourself love is to meet your desires. But in order to meet our desires, we have to check in with what our desires are. You can do that super simply by just asking yourself, what's one thing that I want today? And it can be, I want to get outside. It could be, I want to have Giddy's made me homemade chai tea. Oh, it's so yum. I want to have yummy chai tea. It could be literally anything. I want to have 5 minutes to myself. I want to have an hour to myself. I want to watch another episode of that series. I want to respond to that email, like whatever it is. What's one thing I want today? And then fulfill your desire and let them be different every day, right? Like, let them be different every day. Like, play around with what your desires even are. Expand your desires and meet them, and you will have so much more fun. It doesn't have to be big and fancy and complex. It gets to be super simple and super easy. The next one I thought about, particularly for my office-based listeners and past Vicky, this one is for you, and that is love on yourself by wearing the comfy shoes this week, even if they don't look good. I used to cram my feet into painful shoes just because they looked better, instead of either investing in a pair that looked good and were comfy or letting myself wear comfy shoes. And this changed at a certain point when I was working. I used to walk. I'm sure I've spoken about this on the podcast before. I used to walk to the office in London because I hated the tube. That could be like the one thing I wanted of the day, was to not get on the tube. It would take me an hour and a half. So once I started doing that, I would obviously walk in trainers, and that changed my whole relationship to comfiness and the feet. And then I was much more willing to wear flat shoes in the office, even with my corporate attire. So wear the comfy shoes. Don't worry about looking as good. Take care of your feet and your body. That's just like a fun way to show yourself love this week. Another one that I thought of that's going to sound a little bit strange at first, but is magical. And I wish it didn't sound strange. Like, if there was one thing I could change about this, it would be to really normalize this practice. So say I love you in the mirror. Look yourself in the eye and say I love you. And if it feels strange, let it. Like, if it feels strange, you want to think about, why does it feel strange? We're just so not taught to prioritize loving on ourselves. It's like so at the bottom of the list. And I want you to think, what would be different if you loved on yourself more? You would need less from other people. You would feel more confident, more self-connected, more self-trusting. It would impact the decisions you make. It would impact how you prioritize joy and your own desires, and even showing yourself love to begin with. Like, some of you probably listened to this podcast episode or started it and were like, oh, this one's not important. It's only about love. That's why I spoke about how love relates to our productivity at the beginning, because unfortunately, we've been taught to care more about one of those than the other, and you all know which one. So I love you in the mirror, even if it feels strange. The more you do it, the less strange it will feel. And then one day you'll think, why did that feel strange? Right? Just like it's not strange to say it to like our friends or our partners or our kids, like, I love you. Why would it be strange to say it to ourselves? Maybe some of you are like, that doesn't feel strange at all, Vicky. That's just you. That's a you issue. In which case, totally fine with that too. And the last one I'm going to leave you with, and by the way, re-listen to this podcast. You could re-listen to it every Monday. You could re-listen to it every day this week and pick one thing to start. You could even share on your socials which one you are picking to start with and tag me at Feminist Time Coach. Let me see what you are starting with. Let me see how you are showing yourself some love. Let's spread the love movement. So before I just wanted to drop that before I gave you the last one, the last way to show yourself love this week, the last simple way to show yourself love this week is just to ask yourself, what am I proud of today? And answer it generously. Answer it really generously. Like, I'm proud. I was thinking about this with Ethan, with the baby. Like, he basically has started, since I've not updated you guys, but he started crawling, which is very fun. And also he's not quite as fast yet. And I think by the time I record next week's, it might be a different story. But also he just recently, like this morning for the first time, flipped, the little flip books where you can like flip and it shows, like, there's one where he's looking for eggs and it like shows, oh no, it's a cow, there's no eggs. Anyway, too much baby speak there. So he's now just flipping up the flaps to see what's underneath. That happened this morning. And I felt so proud. I'm like never proud of myself for something like that. But it just goes to show there is so much opportunity to feel proud. It's just so often we expect things of ourselves and we forget that there was a time when we literally couldn't do that. There was a time when I was so nervous about recording podcasts, and now it's like, happy days, happy place, let's go. Okay, love. So those are some ways to show yourself love this week. As a reminder, the bonus way is to get on a call with Lauren the Time Hacker. I will leave the link in the show notes, or you can always email my team at vickylouise.com, and let's get you on a chat about becoming a time hacker. Let's get you on a call about your time and where you feel time stretched. Let's get you on a call about what decisions you aren't making, or at least identifying what your decision patterns are. Because your decision to become a time hacker is not unique. How we make one decision is how we make all of them. So let's really spend time there, give time there this week. I think there's availability the next few weeks, and then it's gone. So jump on that, and I look forward to talking with you soon. Bye, loves.